Hey everybody, hope you're having an absolutely wonderful day today. Today I'm going to be going over how to change your game difficulty in Sons of the Forest version 1.0. This is going to help if you're in a situation where you started a game and made a save and maybe progressed quite a ways, but now you want a different difficulty level than what you started with. When the game was still in its beta or pre-release period, changing this was pretty easy, and lots of great people such as the channel Scrapsta, which I hope I'm saying right, they made very helpful tutorials to change your difficulty for that version. They involve going into the save files of the game and editing some basic values, which isn't anything too complicated. But in my case, I was unable to make those strategies work for me in version 1.0. When 1.0 was released, it appears that Endnight more or less patched this strategy, unfortunately. After a few hours of troubleshooting with a lot of details drawn from Scrapsta's original video, I figured out how to change your difficulty in version 1.0. This strategy unfortunately does involve the use of a third-party program called 7-Zip. Thankfully, it's really easy to download and you don't need an account or anything. This program is used in this case, though, to edit files within zipped folders. We need this due to the fact that within version 1.0, the save files are now in zipped folders. This means that, to the best of my knowledge and what I tried, you can't just go into a standard zip folder and edit files and then save them, because if you do this, Windows is going to prompt you to save them to another location on the computer. This becomes a problem when we try to load the game, as the game's only going to recognize save files that are within the original zipped save folder. What I'm going to show you in this video is relatively easy and doesn't take very long to do. It's just important that you pay a good amount of attention to what you are editing, as you don't want to edit something that you don't know how to change back. But with that, let's jump right in. To start, it's going to be very important that A, you have your save which you want to change, and B, that you have a save that is set to the difficulty that you're going to want to change your actual save to. For instance, here, I'm going to be adjusting a normal save into a peaceful save. So I've made basically a throwaway save that is peaceful so that I'm able to reference its file data when adjusting this save's file data. That's going to be a little more important later on though. All right, to start here, we're going to open up the run program. I've already searched for it, but you might have to type it in down there. Once we have this open, we're going to type in %, appdata, %, then press OK or enter. Either one works. Once File Explorer is open, we're going to click appdata at the top. This will lead us to local, local low, and roaming. We're going to want to select local low. In here, we'll select Endnight, and then Sons of the Forest, and then saves. We're going to want to select this folder with all the numbers on it. I don't know what they mean. This example is going to be focused on a single player save. I haven't ever tried it on multiplayer. I assume it works the same, but I haven't ever tried it personally. These three folders right here are actual saves. This folder is what I'm going to be using as my example. This one I will be using as a reference. So we open this up, we see the zipped save data folder. This is what's actually important and we're going to be using later on. Right now though, if you haven't already, is the time to download 7-Zip. So for this, you go to 7-zip.org. In here, you're going to see a download link. This is what you'll want to use. I've already downloaded the program, so I don't need to do it again. And then once you have it downloaded, you're going to go into search and search for 7-Zip. I've already searched for it, so it's right here. We're going to open that up, and we're going to go back to File Explorer real quick. We're going to copy the address for our save data folder by right-clicking up here and pressing copy address. Then in 7-Zip, we're going to paste that address and press enter. This is going to open up our save data file within 7-Zip. Now, when we open up the save data file, we're going to see all these various files. And over here, we're going to see game setup save data.json and game state save data.json. Right now, we're going to focus on game setup save data. All right, when this opens up for us, we're going to notice a lot of random words and whatnot that don't really make any sense, and they don't need to in our case here. What we're going to do at this point, though, is make use of our reference save. So that's the save that I set as a peaceful save, so we're able to modify my normal save into a peaceful save. So we'll open that up and open up the save data folder again. We'll get this little warning. We can ignore that. Then we'll go down to game setup for this one. The reason I didn't open this with 7-Zip is we don't need to make any modifications to this, so there's no reason to open it with 7-Zip if I'm not modifying it. We will notice a slight difference in the end of these texts here. See how this ends in this little all these symbols and whatnot. So beyond the colon here, I'm going to delete all of that text. And then when we go over to our peaceful save, we'll notice beyond the colon, we have all this text here. So what I'm going to do is copy that over. We're going to paste it right there. And once we have it pasted in there, that is going to be what actually makes our save a peaceful save. Up here, I'm going to change what says normal and make that peaceful. This will just give us the general name correctness. And at this point, we're going to do Control S to save it. So that's what's actually going to allow us to change the hardwiring, if that's what you want to call it, of the game. Then when we close out of that here and close out of that, we're going to get a little warning from 7-zip. This is going to tell us there was a modification and do we want to update it. We're going to say yes. Then at this point, we're going to open up the game state save file. Over here, we're going to notice where it says normal. All this is going to do is change the name of things within the game when we open it up. So I'm going to change this to peaceful as well. You can really change that to whatever you want it to be. I'm just using peaceful to make it simple. And then we have a second place where it shows up. If I can find it. Right over here. And we're going to change that to peaceful as well. All right. Then we're going to do Control S again. We're going to close out of that. Then we're going to tell it yes again. And that about covers it. So at that point, we have completely edited everything that we need to edit. Now, if we look at the files, what we'll notice is, A, the reference is still the same. Nothing happened to the reference. We didn't edit anything, so that makes sense. But the one we edited up here, it is peaceful now. Nothing else has changed. The date's the same, the time's the same, the day's the same, the in-game time is the same. But it is changed to peaceful. And now if we load up the game, it's going to play as a peaceful game. There won't be any hostile mobs or any of that. Alright guys, let me know whether or not this works for you. I will also link my full Reddit instructional if you'd prefer to read. There's a few pictures on there as well. But thank you guys so much for watching and have a good one.